At this point, almost everyone in the entire world has heard of MrBeast, or Jimmy Donaldson. He's recently become the most subscribed person on YouTube and has consistently dropped some of the most watched videos of all time. MrBeast is also a person that has prided himself on avoiding drama and controversy as a whole, leaning into a more philanthropic and wholesome approach. Well, that is until just last week, when his best friend and colleague Ava Kris Tyson started trending for all the wrong reasons. But we'll get into that a bit later, because first I have to give you guys some background on who Kris Tyson was before these allegations. For those of you wondering, Kris Tyson, whose name now starts with a K, was formerly Kris Tyson with a CH before his gender transition. Kris has been a part of Jimmy's crew since the very beginning, and is actually one of his childhood best friends, having been roommates at a point. Those familiar with the MrBeast channel know that Kris was one of the most recurrent members in videos, past and present. So it definitely came as a surprise when Kris, who was portrayed and came off as the well-mannered, hyper-masculine, married Christian man, became Kris, the dainty, hyper-feminine and highly opinionated transitioner. When the news had initially broken of this transition, fans were pretty shocked, but most welcomed the new Kris with open arms. MrBeast also supported his friend through it all, though other critics such as Sneeko and Nick Ems weren't so sweet, going as far as to say that Kris abandoned his wife and child. MrBeast expressed displeasure towards those who trash-talked Kris by claiming that Kris was still an amazing parent even till this day. Well, that was until Kris landed himself in even hotter water with allegations suggesting he had a more than inappropriate relationship with a younger fan. These allegations are not dissimilar to the recent claims that have been made against both Dr. Disrespect and Cody Ko, who have also been under significant scrutiny as of late. First, let's discuss the recent video that went viral, showing old tweets from Kris that date back to 2017 and 2018. The video connects Kris with a person named Shadman, known for creating explicit drawings online, including troubling content involving underage characters. This kind of material is clearly unacceptable, and anyone who creates this type of stuff should be sent to the loony bin. It is obviously a disgusting loophole for weirdos to feed their vile behaviors without seeing any jail time. Well, in the past, Kris frequently posted about Shadman, and has even displayed the artwork in the background of an old MrBeast video. He also tweeted about his enjoyment of this type of artwork, and made other suggestive posts about various cartoon characters. Although the real kicker is that these posts are about 7-year-olds, and Kris was a fully grown 21-year-old man at the time. And the craziest part of it all was that this definitely wasn't just a one-off event or just some weird social trend online. No, this was a fully fledged fixation with Kris displaying such artwork proudly. So, while people already found his previous behavior quite strange, it pales in comparison to this more serious allegation. It's claimed that he had an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old fan when he was 20 years old. Their online communication continued for several years. The kid in question is known online as Lava GS and was a huge MrBeast fan and even appeared on MrBeast's gaming channel at one point. Over the years, they developed multiple channels of communication, including Snapchat, Twitter messages, Discord DMs, and even private gaming sessions. Now, I know what you're all thinking. What the In what world should a 20-year-old man have any affiliation with a 13-year-old kid on so many different messaging platforms? Like, unless that kid is your brother or has some type of relation to you, there is no reason to be so connected in so many ways, unless there are ulterior motives. Also, a person like Kris Tyson should be focused on his own life experiences and public image at this point in his life, especially given the public attention that was already associated with the MrBeast channel. Anyways, Lava GS, who was still just 14, became so closely affiliated with Kris that he would end up feeding a lot of the inappropriate public banter, of which Kris was pushing on Twitter. Kris would make some absolutely crazy statements, such as stating that he would release his explicit photos for just one more Patreon subscriber, And remember, Kris was saying all of this stuff to a kid through online forums. This back and forth flirting from Kris continued way longer than I'm showing you here, and leaves me sick to my stomach just thinking about it, because such relations with minors is just not on. Okay, but let's just play devil's advocate for a second and just say that Kris was harmlessly talking and or flirting with a minor he saw as just a friend. Well, that would change when Lava.js turned 16, as Kris would plan to meet him and has even talked about it extensively on the MrBeast Discord server. In the meantime, it's worth mentioning that Lava.js himself has come out to defend Kris. He has said that nothing bad has ever happened to him and the meetup was harmless. Though keep in mind that Lava.js was still only 16 years old at the time, so even though nothing particular happened, in my opinion, it can still be considered to be some sort of grooming. Lava.js has also removed all of his affiliations with MrBeast from his Twitter page, and is seemingly trying to cover the tracks for Kris by denying allegations and defending him with statements. Kris has also stepped down from all MrBeast related activities, but has still yet to explain any of his actions. The whole YouTube community seemed to be eagerly waiting on what Ava Tyson actually has to say about all of this weird stuff, and what justifications they have for their previous actions. Former employee and cast member of MrBeast, Jake Franklin, has also been fairly active in condemning his ex-colleague. Jake replied to a post stating, "While we're at it, could you tell everyone how old the girl was he was snapping who sent him his first ever pair of Gucci slides?" Which seems to indicate that the whole MrBeast crew was aware of the situation since 2018 and never did anything about it. Drama Alert have also tweeted that they apparently found Kris's old YouTube channel, where they shared some revenge pics of Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly. Another Twitter account by the name of ClipsHub have also posted another screen recording in which apparently Ava messaged someone when they were also underage. The evidence just seems to keep piling in, and it seems like the truth will prevail, which is the only good thing to come out of this situation, as no child should experience such things. At the same time though, it's unfortunate that some of the biggest personalities on the internet are not stepping up to address this situation, or using their influence in the needed way, and it's all due to one reason we all know. Some big names such as Moist Critical, the Tate Brothers and Sneeko have all condemned Kris. Also, by the time this is uploaded, MrBeast has also issued a formal statement saying that Kris has been fired by the MrBeast company, and that a third-party investigator will be used to get to the bottom of these allegations. The saddest part of this whole thing is that Ava has a kid herself, and these allegations will surely have consequences for the kid. It's heartbreaking to think that a child could be affected by circumstances beyond their control, especially when they are completely innocent and the situation that their parent is involved in is actually about children as well. It is cruel that the children will end up bearing the brunt of these adult decisions and unneeded situations, affecting both their future and well-being. I have tried to sum up this whole story as much as possible up until now, but we obviously can't come up with a conclusion just yet, as this is an ongoing process and investigation, and it would be unwise to make premature judgments. Though, as of now, it seems to be headed in one direction. Lastly, I would like to shout out Virus and Adrox for their videos about the situation, by being some of the first and most careful to cover this story. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for similar content. Who would you like to see next? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, stay quixotic.